Shalom, shalom. Elect of the nation of Israel. It's your brother Kadosh Shahai here coming at you with a real quick lesson. First things first, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakakodash, which in the ancient Paleo Hebrew tongue is the correct name of the Heavenly Father, His only begotten Son, and the Holy Spirit. I'd like to give double honors to my teachers, the head apostles and elders of the great millstone, which I learned this truth. I want to send sincere salutations to the brothers pushing this truth all across the four winds in truth and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers. And shalom to the Akim and Nakwaf, which consists of men and women who's listening, learning, and studying to show themselves approved. Shalom to you also. Today I got a real quick lesson centered around this clip from the brother Hopeful Elect 3. He always, put out real short clips, but it'd be real good videos that's, just showing how the temperature of the earth right now, what people are going through and things of that nature. And this video is a 40-year-old Jake, man, who got a call from a recruiter, which let you know that the draft is on the way, World War III is on the way, and Esau is gonna come down trying to fill up his military, man. And that's biblical. And it's not only that he's 40 years old, he's been in the military before. So he's 40 years old, already been to the military, and then been to prison. So they just trying to recruit because they don't got, the numbers is low. Nobody wants to fight for America, Babylon the Great. And their military is super weak. They got a whole bunch of females, a whole bunch of moles, trainees, and now they trying to recruit old folks, man, because ain't nobody wants to fight these, especially these younger generation. They fat and all they know is 2K and Call of Duty in their grandma's basement, man. Just unathletic, like just horrible. So they trying to do any type of recruiting they can, man. And it's bad for Babylon the Great. They're gonna get their ass beat and in this upcoming war, World War III, if this is what they gotta go to, man. But without further ado, I'm gonna play the video and then I'm gonna get some precepts that came to mind.
I am a 40-year-old biracial man. I am also an ex-con who washed out of basic training 21 years ago. So it blew my mind when I got a call today from a U.S. Army recruiter. They had a copy of my DD-214. They knew about my prior service, my criminal history, and everything I've done in my life, and asked me if I was interested in re-enlisting. I'm thinking I'm 40 years old. The Army, the military is a young man's game, a young person's game. I mean, I'm still in good shape. I'm 6'2", 230 pounds. I grew up in the streets fighting. I was fighting in prison. And when I was in the Army at 19, basic training really wasn't all that hard. I was going in as 11 Bravo, as infantry. I didn't wash out in basic training because it was hard. There was some other things that happened in there that I have videos about you can go check out. But apparently they raised the age limit to 42 years old. And a lot of middle-aged people like myself are getting phone calls. So me and this staff sergeant talked for a little while. The fact that I have 2 bachelor's degrees would allow me to come in as an E4. I can't come in as an officer because I have criminal convictions, so I can't get a secret clearance for anything. And we all know the Army don't get paid shit. So they're essentially asking me at 40 years old, as an ex-con who hasn't been in the military for 21 years, to re-sign up to be in the infantry. Now this set off a lot of alarm bells in my head. And the conspiracy nut in me kind of started kicking in. Is World War III coming? Or are they that desperate to put bodies and boots on the ground in some foreign countries we can go die? I tell you what, that staff sergeant was a salesman. He spun me a tale about redeeming myself, about how this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to go back and fix some things in my past. I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling it. I'm like, yeah, I deeply regret not being able to be in the Army. I deeply regret the things that happened to me in the Army, and I wish things could have been different. This guy was pulling at all my heartstrings, all my regret, all my past. Had me really envisioning myself at 40 years old with all my gray facial hair and my dad bod. putting on the uniform again. But something has to be going on. That they are interested in middle-aged ex-cons like me. I look at what's going on with the Russia and Ukraine situation. I look at what's going on in the Middle East with Iran and Israel and Gaza and Lebanon. I look at what's going on with China doing military drills with Russia. I look at what's going on with Iran selling weapons to Russia. And I see how America is right in the middle of all of that. And I look at how turbulent this election season is. How we can be on the precipice of a civil war and World War III. So instead of the U.S. government instituting a draft, which would be widely unpopular in America, they rather call up old middle-aged men like me, play at our heartstrings, offer us a nice big enlistment bonus, pull at the strings of our patriotism, and sucker us into signing up and going to die somewhere. Of course, I said no. I have a wife, I got 6 kids, I have a career, and the pay that they'll give me as an E4 is a drastic pay cut. And the fact that they're so desperate to reach out to a man like me, an old brother like me, in my opinion means something big is coming, and I'm better served here at home protecting my family. Because I would feel like crap if something big did go down and I was suckered into joining the army again, and my family, my wife and kids were left to their own devices without me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do y'all think this is a...
He said a lot right there, man, but it's funny because something is going down. Is that, is World War III coming? Yes, it is, man. And that precept came to mind, man. This is Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe has passed, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. That's talking about World War III, man. It's coming quickly, man, because in Revelations, a few chapters back, it says the first woe is past and the second woe cometh quick. Then now it's saying the second woe is past and the third woe, which is the final woe, cometh quickly, man. So, hey, World War III is biblical and it is about to come. That's why they're trying to draft, reinstate the draft. That's why they're calling up all these old folks, boosting up the number to 42, trying to get older folks who've been in the military, trying to get ex-cons and everything into their military because, hey, their numbers are low, and they know that they to win a war, you gotta have a good infantry, and then you're gonna be on the front line at that. You're gonna be 40 years old on the front line. You definitely is gonna, die somewhere. He like get sucked into the military and go die somewhere. That's exactly what you're gonna do, man. America Babylon the Great is not the place to be fighting for, man. This place got a hell of a judgment coming from Yahweh B'Shem Yahshua. And if you're fighting for this place, that means you're fighting against the Lord, man. You're fighting against the Lord. Not to mention, he said, hey, he gonna have to take. If he did do it, he would have took a pay cut. Like, they don't treat their military men like nothing anyway. You can't even go to the VA hospital. Half the shit ain't paid for. You just fucked up once you come back from the army and you blown away. Especially if you're not a Edomite, man. It's bad business out there, man. But let's get this, man, because the Lord is gathering together these nations, man. The Lord is gathering together these nations, and Esau trying to boost his numbers up to try to fight, man. Let's get Joel. Let's get Joel 3 and 9. And it reads, proclaim ye this amongst the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. And see, he was in the military, but he got kicked out. But yet he was in the military. They trying to, you joined before. You was trying to be a mighty man before. Well, come back, man. You could do it good this time. Trying to sweeten them up. He was about to fall for it, but he kicked in. My wife and children they're gonna be left alone. They're gonna be hard out here without me, and that's true. But it says, draw near and let them come up. Verse 10. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And that's exactly what's going on. All these nations, even Babylon the Great, they're preparing for war. Everything that they're spending should be spending on like helping the people or farming and things. They're spending it on war, spending it on military equipment, man. And it says, let the weak say I am strong. That's why you see all these nations that didn't have nukes suddenly have nukes. All these nations who didn't want to fight at one point in time are like, man, fuck that, I'm joining in the fight. And I'm back in this side. I'm back in that side. See, that's the spirit of the Lord. This is a future prophecy that is happening right before our eyes, man. In verse 11, it says, assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen and gather yourselves together around about thither the mighty men, the mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I set to judge all the heathen around about, man. So the Lord is about to judge all these heathens, man. That means the other nations. That means Esau, Edom, and that means 2/3 of the nation of Israel who don't follow after them, man. And if you're fighting in this war, hey, the Lord you're gonna be judged. Exactly what he said. I get suckered into the war and go die somewhere. That's exactly what you do. The Lord will judge you right then and there. You're gonna die somewhere. You're gonna be permanently a part of the ground of wherever the fuck they send you at. And it's just biblical, man. Let's get this in Sirach. Cause he did say, hey, they broke. The military is broke. They're trying to sucker him in with a bonus that he probably won't ever even get to spend. Especially whenever the dollar's about to crash, man. And he'll have to take a pay cut after that. And put you on infantry at 40 years old. That's crazy, man. It's craziness. But let's get Sirach. Let's get Sirach 26 and 28. And it reads, there be two things that grieves my heart, and the third maketh me angry. A man of war that suffers poverty. And that's exactly what it is. A man of war that suffers poverty. And that happens a lot here in Babylon the Great. You gonna come back from war, your ass, man, you might as well start over on the level of a Khan. Cause shit, and nobody gives a shit about a veteran here, man. Unless you're a high-ranking Edomite. If you're not a high-ranking Edomite, hey, nobody cares about your service. They might say thank you for your service, but that's as far as it goes. Thank you for your service, but we can't help you with your arm just blown off. We can't give you no medicine. Thank you for your service, but you don't fit the qualifications for this house, man. And the army don't pay much for you to see. You get a story like that, and that's exactly what dude is trying to say, man. Because hey, they want him to go to the army, but yet get a low paycheck and be in poverty. It says, and there be three, and there is three that make me angry, and a man of war that suffer poverty, and a man of understanding that are not set by. So, and that goes into the prophets. People of we're men of understanding who knows what's going on, knows the prophecies, and knows the signs of the times, and yet people don't want to sit by and listen. They want to just scoff and mock and shake their hand and be like, y'all crazy. And it says, a man of understanding that are not set by, and one that returneth from righteousness into sin. That's a lot of people. It says, the Lord prepareth such and such a one for the sword. So, hey, man, those are set for the sword right there, man. But, hey, the point was a man of war who suffers poverty. And that's exactly what will happen. Because, hey, he'll have to take a pay cut. His family will be struggling here in America, Babylon the Great, whenever inflation is at an all-time high. It's actually about to kick into hyperinflation, especially if these ports close down on October 1st or the 5th, one of those days they were saying, the 1st or the 5th. It's gonna get real out here, and yep, it is gonna be hard times for women and children, older women who had husbands who went to the war, and just younger women who wanted to get married or have some protection. Because hey, when that draft kick in, shit, and there's not gonna be many men left. They're gonna get sent over to the draft. And that's biblical also. And I'm gonna probably end it with this. Let's get it second edges. I think it's second edges and second edges 16 and let's see 33. It might be set. Yep, this is it. It says the virgin shall mourn having no bridegrooms. That's because they're gonna be all at war or killed in Jacob's trouble. It says, and the virgin shall mourn having no bridegroom. The woman shall mourn having no husband, because they're going to be killed or sent to the war. The daughter shall mourn having no helpers, man. Like, hey, shit, a woman needs a man to lead them, to show them what to do. And they're going to mourn because they're going to be left to their own devices, running around doing God knows what, and just digging themselves in deeper holes, finding themselves in bad situations. It says, in the war shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord, man. And that's the point, man. Hey, they're going to die in these wars and die in these famines, man. And the Lord is telling us to take heed and hear these words, man, and come back to him so he won't be a part of it. But I'm going to end it there. Lord willing, it was edifying. Lord willing, it made sense. I would like to say, Kal Halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakakwadash, Kwam Yasharala Wa Abba Shalom.